Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Lavina Goyal. I am a member of ICAI and ICSI. Today, on behalf of Women and Young Member Excellence Committee of ICAI, I welcome you all in the Sky High Symposium Series 46. Sky High Symposium is a Wednesday series of programs conducted by the Committee for the Women and Young Members. It is one of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee initiative to not only disseminate information to members on technical updation and non-technical skills, but also to empower and inspire them to come at forefront and realize their verbal skills at public forum. Today, we are going to cover sessions on GST. I would like to give a brief introduction about our prestige speaker, CA Kavita Dholu. She is a practicing chartered accountant from Mumbai. She has been into practice since last 15 years. Her area of expertise is GST, advising well-known construction companies in and around Mumbai. She has also done her DISA ICAI in 2015. Last 12 years, she has been actively associated with Siddha Samriddhi Yoga, not for profit organization, and following the teachings of Guruji Shri Rishi Prabhakar and Shri Manoj Lekhi. She translated book on parenting authored by Manoj Lekhi, Your Child is Your Parent, from English to Gujarati. Ma'am, please come and start the session on GST.
Thank you, CA Lavina Goyal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shall I start now? Hello? Am I audible? Okay. Thank you, CA Lavina Goyal, for your kind words. Before starting with the session, I would like to thank CA Preeti Madam and the whole Committee of Women and Young Members Excellence Committee of ICAI for giving me this wonderful opportunity to put my views relating to GST in form of case studies. And let's start with the now. Can you see my screen? Okay. Now, I would also like to thank you to my Guruji Shri Rishi Prabhakar ji and Manoj Lekhi ji for giving this, for helping me to reach to my real self. Thank you so much. So let's begin with the session. Before GST is 5 years old, as we all know. यानी कि 5 साल का बच्चा है. It's taking its baby steps. So definitely it will take some time to settle it down. And by that time, there are some confusions and controversies which we have to of us to understand and try to make it interesting for all of us. So let's begin with the case study number 1, Gada Electronics. हम सबका favorite, right? So in Gada Electronics, as we all know, Jethalal Gada का business एक ही है, business of buying and selling of electronic items. Abhi, the case is that in 2018 and 19, they availed the input tax credit of 10 lakhs. However, the corresponding sales by the supplier is not declared by the supplier in his return. यानी कि वो return में supplier ने sales अपना नहीं दिखाया है या फिर return file नहीं किया. In short, the GST was not paid by the supplier relating to corresponding sales. Now, because of this, and the Gada Electronics has also not reversed the ITC that they have taken in 2018 and 19. Till they have received the notice in year 2021. And on this, against this notice, they reversed the ITC which they have availed in 18-19 of 10 lakhs along with the interest of 24% under section 50 subsection 3. Abhi means this is done. Now, what has happened in Finance Act 2022, interest rate given under section 50 subsection 3 was reduced from 18% to 24% to 18% with retrospective effect from 1st July 2017. And that provision, that particular reduction of interest provision was made applicable from 5th July 2022. Now, Gada Electronic has made the application for refund of interest what they have paid at the rate of 24% on 5th of August 2022. यानी कि ये जो नया प्रोविजन अप्लीकेबल हुआ उसके एक महीने के बाद they applied for the refund for the whole amount of interest. But again, that officer has denied and said that only differential interest of 6% is available. Now, what is the remedy in this case? And second, the second scenario is that what if the application for refund is made on 5th of May 2022, यानी कि जो effective date है उससे पहले application किया है तो क्या scenario होगा और application ये effective date के बाद किया है तो scenario क्या होगा, that we need to see, right? Let's see the brief, यानी थोड़ा सा डिटेल में अगर हम लोग देखें, पहले तो 1819 का जो आईटीसी था वो क्लेम कर लिया गया, उसके बाद और उसके अगेंस्ट में जो कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग सेल सप्लायर को दिखाना था जिसपे जीएसटी भरना था, that has not been return has not been filed or that GST has not been paid by the supplier. And because of that becomes the ineligible input tax credit, जो reverse that was supposed to be reversed by the Gada Electronics, that they have not reversed, but they received the notice and against that notice they reversed that ITC along with interest. And after payment and payment of ITC and interest, new Finance Act 2022 came with effective date of 5th July. और इंटरेस्ट का रेट मेरा कम हो गया 6% से. तो अभी ये है कि जो मैंने वॉट एवर आई पेड ऑलरेडी पेड, कैन आई अप्लाई फॉर द रिफंड? तो उससे पहले वी नीड टू सी द प्रोविजंस बिफोर फाइनेंस एक्ट 22 एंड आफ्टर फाइनेंस एक्ट 22. तो लेट्स सी means when let's see the scenario when I made the application before the effective date, यानी कि जो effective date था जुलाई 22 का, उससे पहले मैंने रिफंड का application अगर किया है तो provision, though in that case what will be applicable, that definitely the provision before Finance Act 22 will be applicable. And if we see the combined reading of all the section 41, 42, section 50, subsection 3, and rule 69, 70, 71, all these forms, then we can see that means what was the scenario before Finance Act 22, what was given in the Act, that first of all, we all were supposed to file GSTR 1 in which we need to declare our sales. In short, our output supply. Then GSTR 2, in which we were supposed to declare our input inward supplies, on which we will claim input tax credit. And जो भी differential था, that we need to settle down in GSTR 3 along with the payment. And after that, यानी कि मुझे पहले GSTR 1 में sales दिखाना है, then मेरा input tax credit मुझे provisional base पे GSTR 2 में claim करना है. And based on this outward supply and inward supply, whatever the difference is there, I need to settle down in GSTR 3. And after filing GSTR 3, there should be a matching of what I have claimed as input tax credit and what is the corresponding supply declared by the supplier. अभी वो मैचिंग GSTR 3 फाइल होने के बाद होना था, और GSTR 3 फाइल होने के बाद when I match and if there is some mismatch is there between the sales declared by the supplier and the input tax credit availed by the recipient, then such mismatch is uh, informed to both of them, supplier and the recipient, in form MIS1 and MIS2. This was the all the forms like fairy tales which never came after GST, and the whole mechanism was not working. That means the whole mechanism fails. And when the whole mechanism is not fails and it's not available for assessee to follow the provision, then assessee are also not bound to follow the provision, right? So in that case, if the application is made before the Finance Act 22, then in that case, Gada Electronics is very well eligible for applying for the refund for the whole amount of ITC. Okay? Because वहां पे ये कुछ forms, these forms are never applicable, means never came. वो forms था ही नहीं, forms थे ही नहीं, mechanism was not there. So how can I follow to match my ITC with the corresponding sales declared by my supplier? And if the mechanism fails, then how can I, means I'm also not bound to follow the rules, and I'm also not liable to pay interest on ITC, which was mismatched. So before final, if the application is made on 5th of May 2022, then Gada Electronics can apply for the whole amount of refund. Now, what if the application for refund is filed after the finance effective date? That means on 5th of August 2022 को अगर मैंने refund का application किया है, then what will be the scenario? Before Finance Act 22, Section 41 was giving a facility to me to avail the ITC on a provisional basis. That was totally amended by Finance Act 22. And now, whatever the ITC which is given, means which is appearing in my GST 2B or 2A, that only I'm eligible to avail. And no provisional availment of ITC is there now. And because of that, there is no need to match my ITC with the corresponding sales by the supplier. And that's why Section 42 was omitted. And as the Section 42, there are corresponding rules, rule number 69, 70, and 71 were also omitted. And now the only what is appearing in 2B is I'm eligible to avail the ITC, which is appearing in my GSTR 2B. Okay. Now, the next is, but the interest rate is reduced from 24% to 18%, and that too with a retrospective effect from 1st July 2017. So my liability for interest is now only 18%, but I have already paid 24%. So am I eligible to apply for the refund? In this case, first the question is that only, कि मैं application कर सकती हूँ कि नहीं कर सकती. For that, we need to visit Finance Act 22. The reduction of interest rate was given under Section 116 of Finance Act 22. And the similar kind of concession were also given under Section 117 and 118 of Finance Act 22. What these sections were, the Section 117 was relating to concession in relation to unintended waste generated during production of piecemeal, and 118 is in relation to liquor license fees. There were some kind of concession was given. But in both these sections, one more specific provision was there, that there is no refund of tax will be available for what has been already collected. यानी कि मैंने higher rate पे कुछ, if whatever I have paid, tax, interest, whatever, and now that rate has been reduced, concession is given, then I'm not allowed to apply for the refund for whatever I already paid. But in similar kind of provision is absent in section 116. अभी 11 what does it mean? That means in 116 जहां पे मेरा इंटरेस्ट का रेट कम हुआ है, वो रेट मीन्स वहां पे जो मैंने ऑलरेडी हायर रेट पे इंटरेस्ट पे कर दिया है, वो मैं रिफंड के लिए दैट मीन्स इनडायरेक्टली आई कैन अप्लाई फॉर द रिफंड. तो ये तो पक्का हो गया, आई कैन अप्लाई फॉर द रिफंड इवन आफ्टर आई एम अप्लाइंग आफ्टर द इफेक्टिव डेट, बट फॉर 18% और full amount of interest. Now the question is that only. So again, if we see that whatever available before the amendment is also available to me even after the amendment. Just amending the provision does not take away my rights which were there with me before the amendment. For to curb such kind of my rights, there has to be some specific provision कि इसमें रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा या फिर some kind of specific provision should be there, must be there to take away my that rights. And in section 116 there is absence of such a specific provision to कि refund नहीं मिलेगा or such kind of. That's why I'm even after the effective date, my rights which were there before Finance Act 22 are the same rights are available to me even after the Finance Act 22. So even after effective date, as per my opinion, I can apply for the full amount of refund. I am eligible to take the refund, apply for the full amount of refund. That means on a conclusion, it doesn't make any difference whether I'm applying before the effective date of Finance Act 22 or after the effective date. In both the cases, I'm eligible to apply for the refund of the full amount of interest. Okay, so let's move to the next case study. That is case study number 2, Sri Ram Kanwai. This is relating to the food, very interesting. Again, एक मिल रहा है को नहीं मिल रहा है, but we have to see what the case is. Now, यहाँ पे अभी क्या है? Shriram Kandoi is a GST registered famous sweet and farsan supplier, having 15 different branches in all over Mumbai. For preparation of food items, they have a central kitchen, from where food items are sent to all of their branches, from where items are sold over the counter and takeaway basis. They charge GST as follows on different food items: sweet items 5%, and namkeens, that is farsan, sold in loose packing 5%, and farsan, that means namkeen, packed in unit packing, bearing a registered brand or even some kind of price and something like that, then the GST rate is 12%. Applying through Swiggy, where they raise bill along with applicable GST to customers, and Swiggy collected from customers and remit the amount after deducting their commission, and Sriram Kandoi declares and pay GST through their GSTR1 and GSTR3B. However, effective from 1st January 22, as per notification 17/2021, issued under central tax rate, Swiggy has started charging GST at the rate of 5% directly from customers, and GST on such sale is also declared in their GST returns and paid by Swiggy. यानी कि अभी तक क्या था केस? Sriram Kandoi is a famous sweet and namkeen supplier. He has a central kitchen and 15 branches all over the Mumbai. And food is prepared in single central kitchen, from where the food stuff is sent to different branches for the purpose of supplying from that branches itself. To increase the business, what they have through Swiggy also. And Swiggy means earlier, what was that mechanism that the Swiggy will, Sriram Kandoi will issue the tax invoice. he will charge GST, and Swiggy's personnel will just collect the deliver the foodstuff and collect the amount. And from total amount collected during, for say, a month, total amount collected during the month will be remitted to the Sriram Kandoi by the Swiggy after deducting its commission. That was the scenario before that particular notification came in December 21. Excuse me. Before that notification came in December 21. Now, what was, and in December 21, that notification came and which made it applicable to all e-commerce operators who supplies or delivers food stuff from restaurant to the customers. And what was there, that the e-commerce operators are liable to pay GST at the rate of 5% on the food stuff delivered to customers from the restaurants. And because of this notification, what Swiggy has started issuing tax invoicing by itself. Swiggy has started charging GST, collecting GST, and paying GST through its own returns instead of Sriram Kandoi. Sriram Kandoi पिक्चर में से पूरा निकल गया. अभी वहां पे भी both were easy to go, no problem. But the GST officer has approached Sriram Kandoi and he has demanded the amount of differential tax of 7%. यानी कि जो चीजों पे 12% का GST का रेट था, अभी उस पे भी 5% लग रहा है. तो he has demanded the differential amount of tax of 7%. And now Sriram Kandoi has again approached Swiggy कि भैया अभी now let's move back to our old mechanism. But this Swiggy is not ready because that notification is specifically applicable to Swiggy, and it has to follow that notification. Now, sorry, Sriram Kandoi का अभी हालत हो गया है कि like in between उसका चटनी पीस गया है between Swiggy and GST officer what to do, because GST officer which this we have, because now what is the stand by GST officer is that whatever supply is made through Swiggy is a supply of goods. It's not a supply of restaurant service. The notification is specifically for restaurant service, and whatever you are supplying through Swiggy, it's not a supply of restaurant service, it's a supply of goods. So charge GST as per that. While Swiggy is saying that it is a supply of restaurant service and it is charging GST at the rate of 5%. Sorry. While against that, Swiggy is considering it as a supply of restaurant service, and GST is applicable is 5%, and Swiggy is directly collecting and paying to the government through declaring the same in its return. Now, in this case, the question is that the supply is whether a supply of goods or supply of restaurant service. So first of all, we need to see the definition of restaurant service, which is given under Notification 11/2017, issued under Central Tax Act. What it says that restaurant service means supply by way of or as a part of service of goods being food or any other article for human consumption or any drink provided by a restaurant, eating joint, including mess, canteen, etc. Now, अभी ये तो हो गया कि भैया कि restaurant service is the food supply of food by the restaurant. But what is restaurant? here the Sriram Kandoi is supplying food items. So does it make that Sriram Kandoi is a restaurant? For that, we need to see what is restaurant. But restaurant is nowhere defined under GST provisions. So here, to our help, Circular 164 uh, came, which was issued in October 2021, which says that, which says just that in explanatory notes, classification of services, restaurant service includes takeaway services and door delivery of food. यानी कि क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ सर्विसेज की जो एक्सप्लेनेटरी नोट्स है दैट itself says that takeaway services and door delivery of food is also considered as restaurant services. But in extension of that, this circular clarifying that even if it is exclusively by way of a takeaway or door delivery by the cloud kitchen or a central kitchen, that also to be considered as restaurant services. यानी कि एक्सक्लूसिवली अगर वहां पे टेक अवे या डोर डिलीवरी का सर्विस है, देन ऑल्सो इट इज कंसिडर्ड एज रेस्टोरेंट सर्विस एज पर दिस सर्कुलर. दैट मीन्स वॉट एवर इज सप्लाइंग इन Sriram Kandoi from the central kitchen to end customer is also considered as restaurant services, though it is not directly from the central kitchen but few branches, but the branches are just for the convenience for the delivery, fast delivery, on time delivery. Because in a metro city like Mumbai, it is not possible to deliver on time with on different areas from the central kitchen itself. यानी कि एक central kitchen से you cannot deliver to different areas. So these branches are just for the convenience of delivery and nothing else. That means even in our case, the whatever is delivered, food items are getting delivered through Swiggy from central kitchen through branches through Swiggy is also considered as restaurant services. But again, one question is coming is that whatever I'm supplying through Swiggy is a restaurant service, but what about the over-the-counter supply, which is directly happening at the branches to customers? अगर ये रेस्टोरेंट सर्विस है तो जो ओवर द काउंटर सेल हो रहा है, कैन ऑल दैट आल्सो बी कंसिडर्ड एज रेस्टोरेंट सर्विस? Here, two views are possible. One view is based on Kundan Misthan Bhandar by Uttarakhand Appellate Authority for Advanced Ruling. यहाँ पे क्या था? In Kundan Misthan Bhandar was running a namkeen and sweet shop at the ground floor, and while they also having the restaurant at the first floor, where the sweets and namkeens prepared at the shop or at the ground floor are also supplied in the restaurant. So what was held here is that the goods, sweets and namkeens which were supplied in the restaurant is as a part of composite supply of restaurant service. It was because there is a serving of food was happening, while in the shop there is just a supply of food was happening. There is no element of supply of service at the counter of the shop. So it was held that whatever is supplied over the counter in the shop, it is a supply of goods because there is absence of element of supply of service. And sweets, if they are supplied at the restaurant at the first floor, then there is an element of serving of food. Whether it is whether the customer are having the food at the restaurant itself or whether they are taking it away. In both the cases, there is an element of service. So in that case, the rest, whatever is supplied in restaurant is a restaurant service, and there is a GST rate of 5% is applicable. 5% is applicable. Based on this, we can say that whatever the Sriram Kandoi is supplying over the counter directly to the customer, there is no element of service through the door delivery or something like that. But while whatever is supplying through Swiggy, in that case, there is an element of service of door delivery. Then in that case, Sriram Kandoi, whatever is supplying through GST rate applicable is 5%, while whatever is selling over the counter at the branches, then it is a supply of goods. So based on this, different GST rates are applicable. And other view can be taken is that in both the cases, whether I am supplying over the counter or whether I'm supplying through Swiggy, on both the cases, there is a preparation and supply of food. So based on that, whether the over-the-counter sell or a supply through Swiggy doesn't make any difference, and both the cases both are supply of restaurant service, and 5% should be applicable. This both views, as per my opinion, are considered good, but we need to see based on the case-to-case facts on the case basis. But and the next question is that what if I'm not preparing any food stuff, but I'm serving the food, readily available food from the market? That means my market say ready available food means I'm buying and I'm selling the same food items to customers through Swiggy. Then in that case, whether I'm means whether it is to be considered as supply of restaurant service, then again we need to see the definition of restaurant, which is nowhere defined. So we have to take the dictionary meaning, that is Cambridge dictionary, where it is defined as the restaurant is a place where meals are prepared and served to customers. Here, in this case, the preparation of food stuff is absence, which is very much basic condition for any place to be considered as restaurant. यानी कि restaurant होने के लिए preparation of food is compulsory, which is absent when I am supplying a ready-made food to the customers. So in that case, it is a supply of goods, not a supply of restaurant services. And there is the notification 17/2021 is not applicable in that case. And this view is also held by in case of Riddhi Enterprise by Gujarat Appellate Authority for Advanced Ruling, that when there is a supply of ready-made food items by any person, it's not considered as restaurant services. So in concluding summary, we can say that supply of food items which is prepared in central kitchen through different branches, whether it is when it is over the counter when it is through Swiggy, then it is a restaurant service. And in case of over the counter sell at different branches, then we can say that we can have two views. Either it can be considered as a supply of goods because there is absence of element of service. And on the other view, contrary view can also be possible, that it is a supply of restaurant service also. Both the views are valid as per my opinion, but we need to see the facts of the case. Then and the second scenario is that when I'm selling the ready-made food items, then it is definitely not the supply of restaurant service. That is the concluding summary. Okay. So let's move to the case study number 3. Atul Motors. It is relating to the canteen, so where we can have food items. Yes, I love food. That's why I kept this 2 case studies based on food only. So let's move ahead with the facts. That here the question is relating to the Mrs. Atul Motors. They have a factory in Akola district of Maharashtra, where approximately 2,300 employees are working in the factory. Their admin office is also situated in a building adjacent to that factory building, where more than 200 admin staff is working. To comply with the provisions of Section 46 of Factories Act, company is having canteen in that factory premises, run by the outside caterer, where all the employees, including factory employees and admin staff working in the office in the adjacent building, are being provided food on a nominal charges. Now, the company has a policy to avail the ITC for GST charged by this caterer, but the officer has denied the whole of such ITC based on the provisions of Section 17(5)(b)(1) and asking the company to reverse the same. अभी यहाँ पे means let's see the facts of the case in a little detail. Sorry. Atul Motors is the assessee who is having a factory where 2,300 factory workers are working, and their admin office is nearby the factory building where 200 admin staff are working. And to comply with the provisions of Factories Act, company is having a canteen in a factory building where factory workers and admin staff both are served food. But based on the provision of Section 17(5), what is Section 17(5)? Section 17(5) is a list of there is a list of services which says that even if I am otherwise eligible for taking the ITC on such means whatever is there in the list, but the same thing is not means it is not available, even if I am otherwise eligible to have that ITC. And there is a list of services, and under Section 17(5)(b), the food, and there is a denial of ITC relating to food and beverages. And based on that, our officer has denied the ITC relating to the canteen, what outdoor means GST charged by the outdoor caterer running a factory canteen. But against that, what can be, but the same is compulsory for a company to run a canteen in a factory premises as per Section 46 of Factories Act. Now, this is Section 17(5)(b). Food and beverages, there is a denial of ITC relating to food and beverages, but there is one proviso at the end of the Section 17(5)(b). Then which says that provided that the ITC in respect of such goods or services or both shall be available where it is obligatory for an employer to provide the same to employees under any law for the time being in force. Yani ki, means whatever the list is there under Section 17(5)(b), if that list means if that supply is it is compulsory by the employer to employee, then in that case, even if it is covered by the block credit, the ITC is available. Earlier there was a confusion that कि ये जैसा हम लोगों ने देखा कि ये proviso है whether it is applicable to whole Section 17(5)(b)(1 or only to clause 3. But the same was clarified by Circular 172, 2022, that this proviso is applicable to whole Section 17 subsection 5B. यानी कि यहाँ पे अगर हम देखें तो ये proviso is applicable to whole Section 5 subsection Section 17(5)(b). That means it is also available in case of food and beverages. And here, in our case, food and beverages means it is compulsory for Atul Motors to provide to run a canteen in a factory for the benefit of the workers. So now, again, the question comes that whether means what is compulsory under Factories Act? 46(1) of Factories Act, it says that the state government may make the rules requiring that in any specified factory wherein more than 250 workers are ordinarily employed, to have a canteen, and canteen shall be provided and maintained by occupier for the use of the workers. And again, section 46, subsection 2C, foods, what it says about the foodstuff to be served. That means only running of the canteen is not enough. Foodstuff has to be served along with the along with the provision of that place called canteen. यानी कि कैंटीन का खाली प्रीमाइसेस होना इनफ नहीं है, वहां पे फूड स्टफ भी प्रोवाइड करना कंपलसरी है एज पर फैक्ट्रीज है. That means whatever GST is charged by my outdoor caterer is I'm eligible to claim the ITC relating to same, because वहां पे food stuff outdoor caterer से जो provide होता है that is compulsory under Factories Act. But again, one more question comes, because the food is provided to factory workers and also to the admin staff. तो अभी दोनों को food means the outdoor caterer in the canteen is providing food stuff to both kind of workers. So whether I'm eligible to take the ITC of the GST charged by the outdoor caterer. So again, we need to see whether it is available. We need to see the Factories Act. Here again, they have used the word worker. Not the means use the word means what the worker. That means only facility is serving of the food is compulsory only in case of worker. So what is the definition of worker under Factories Act, which we need to see? As per section 2 clause L of Factories Act, worker means person who is in any way connecting with manufacturing process directly or cleaning any part of machinery or premises used for manufacturing process. That means in any way he has to be connected with manufacturing process. Then he is called a worker. Otherwise he is not covered by the worker. So far as the admin staff is concerned, they are not called the worker because they are not connected with the manufacturing process. So in that case, that means the food stuff provided to the admin staff, it's not compulsory under Factories Act. And because of that, block credit provision and provided under section 17(5)(b) is applicable to the food supplied to the admin staff and not to the workers. यानी कि मुझे proportionate ITC मिलेगा. In proportion, I am eligible to take the ITC in proportion to the factory workers, but proportionate ITC relating to the admin staff will be covered by the block credit. So means how can I do it practically? कैसे possible होगा? Means one possibility is that one way out is that I can issue the different coupons to different kind of my employees, for workers different and for admin staff different, and by that I can classify, or I can separate both the food stuff supplied to different employees, and by that I can proportionately I can reverse, or I can take only proportionate ITC relating to workers only and not to the admin staff. Okay. So let's move to case study number 4, our last case study of the day, that is liquidated damages. Here it is relating to the breach of the contract. यानी contract में हमने जो decide किया था वो condition is not fulfilled by either of the party, and because of that there is a breach of the contract, and the party who is not fulfilling or fail to fulfill the condition in the contract is paying to the other party for the losses the other party has made. So let's see the case. In April 2019, Messrs. KCC Incorporation has given a contract to Messrs. Sanghi Incorporation to build a cement plant on a turnkey basis. As per the contract, Sanghi will complete the work within next 2 years, and if they fail to do the same, then they will pay rupees 5 crore to KCC for the delay in work. However, because of the pandemic due to COVID-19 all over the country, Sanghi could not complete the work within the time as agreed by both the parties under the contract. यानी कि KCC Incorporation, there is a contract between KCC Incorporation and Sanghi Incorporation, and in that contract, Sanghi will build a cement plant for KCC within next 2 years, and if Sanghi will fail, then Sanghi will pay 5 crore to KCC for the losses borne by the KCC. But as COVID-19 happened in all over the country, there was a problem in availability of material, availability of labor was not really available anything. So Sanghi was failed to complete the project within the stipulated time, and now because of that, KCC is asking Sanghi to pay 5 crore as decided in the contract. But Sanghi has explained his situation that as there is no free availability of material, labor, and so many other restrictions by the government, he cannot. It was very much obvious that he cannot complete the project within the stipulated time. So, stipulated time. So he denied to pay the losses that was decided in the contract. And because of that, KCC has approached the court for getting that 5 crore from Sanghi. But here, two scenarios are given in the case study that whether if there is an out of court settlement, and in that out of court settlement, Sanghi has paid 2 crores to KCC for the settlement. And what if in the other scenario, what if there is no out of court settlement, and because of the order of the court, Sanghi has paid 5 crore to KCC. So what is the GST implication in both the cases? यानी कि अगर आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट होता है तो मेरा जीएसटी का implication क्या है, और because of the court order I'm paying, then what is the GST implication in that case also? So for that, as we have already seen the facts of the case, now for that let's see Schedule 2. GST में CGST Act there are 3 schedules: Schedule 1, Schedule 2, and Schedule 3. Now in Schedule 2 is classifying the supply into supply of service and supply of goods. And in that case, one entry is that in para 5E, which says that agreeing to the obligation to refrain from act, to tolerate an act or a situation, or to do an act is the supply of service. And this in the situation given in this case, it can be said that the KCC has because of this, KCC had tolerated an act of delay by the Sanghi, and because of that, GST is applicable. It can be made this particular entry can be made applicable to our case or not. That is the question. Now, the similar entry was there under service tax regime under Section 66E under declared services. The same entry was there. But so what was the legal implication of this entry at that time relating to liquidated damages? The Chennai tribunal, there were different cases who have held in liquidated damages whether service tax was applicable or not. But in Chennai, I took 2 particular case by the Chennai tribunal. in case of Steel Authority of India and Navali Lignite Corporation Limited. In both the cases, the amount was paid for the delay in work, that is the liquidated damages was paid. And it was held that the service tax is not applicable because the intention of the parties certainly was not for the penal clauses to get attracted. It is just for the safeguard of the parties to the contract to avoid such situation. And there is no even the intention of the that person who is paying the tax is to impose any penalty to get the penalized. यानी कि penalty impose करने का या to get penalized. There is no intention of any of the party to attract such situation. This clause is just to avoid such situation. So, liquidated damages is just a flow of money. It cannot be said that there is a provision of service and service tax is applicable. And that was decided by different authorities under Service Tax Act. But when GST came, the different rulings came under GST Act. By the in case of Maharashtra Authority for Appellate Authority for Advance Ruling, in case of Maharashtra State Power Generation Company Limited in September 18. Then again by Telangana Appellate Authority for Advance Ruling. Then again by the in one more case, the same Telangana Appellate Authority for Advance Ruling. In all the cases, mostly liquidated damages, they have classified this and under para 5E of Schedule 2. That means agreeing to obligation to refrain from act to tolerate an act or situation. यानी कि based on that, the GST was made applicable to such kind of payments for specifically for delaying in completing the work. But the circular 178 was issued in August 22. We can see that all the cases has been decided before August 22, where GST was made applicable. But when circular came, it has clarified that the entry 5E under 5E of Schedule 2, the first party to get it to attract the entry 5E of Schedule 2, the first party must be under contractual obligation to tolerate an act. But in this case, there is no contractual obligation on KCC to tolerate an act of delay. It is that clause is just for to avoid that situation. And then again, because of and again further this circular clarifying that the contractual arrangement must be independent in its own right. That means the separate set of right must be flow from such kind of contractual obligation. But in this case, the contract is mainly for the construction of the cement plant, and there is no separate set of rights. It's flowing just because of the delay in completing the work. So here again, the same situation, same view is taken in a circular that it is a mere flow of money and they are mere events in while fulfilling the contracts, and they do not. They are just events, and this is the just flow of money to avoid the situation of delay in work, and they do not provide any remedy for breach of contract. यानी कि जो भी डिले हुआ उसके लॉसेस के लिए it is a payment. It cannot remedy. It cannot provide the remedy to what has already has happened. And by accepting the payment, the aggrieved party cannot be said to have committed the breach, right? And again, the same thing. The intention of the parties are never to have such situation. To avoid such situation, the clauses are there. So the liquidated damages for a breach of contracts amount not tolerating act and situation. not tolerating an act and situation. That means, in short, the circular is saying that whatever is paid because for the delay in work is not not cannot be classified under para 5E, because there is no intention of the parties uh, to have such kind of situation. They are mere events and mere flow of money, and GST is not applicable for delay in work, whether it is out of court settlement or it is because of the court's order, right? But the same is not the situation in case of cancellation of tour. A cancellation tour, yani ki, if there is a tour operator who is arranging tours, and he is providing the facility to cancel the tour before on and before such some date, the same way there is a cancellation of tickets by the railway. That facility is available, but that facility is particularly available even at the time of buying the tickets, even at the booking of the tour. That means it is the facility provided by the supplier. And because it is a facility, it is that means there is a contractual obligation on the person who is getting the cancellation charges to to bear that loss. That means to bear that situation. It is under the, यानी कि अगर रेलवे का टिकट मैंने कैंसिल किया है तो रेलवे is under a contractual obligation to bear that loss of cancellation of ticket, and they are providing me the facility to cancel the tickets. That means in that case GST is applicable. In the same way, there is a provision for prepayment of loan, yani ki when bank means whenever I'm taking the loan from the bank and I'm paying back the loan before the time what was the given for me to pay the loan back, then in that case bank is also charging prepayment of the loan. Some amount bank is charging, and in that case also bank is providing me the facility for the prepayment of the loan. And in such cases it is they are not liquidated damages, they are the facility provided by the supplier. The person who is aggrieved person, means that because of the contract there is a breach of the contract, then that is GST is applicable. The same is the case with early termination of the lease agreement. That means, in conclusion, we can conclude that for delay in work, as which was given in our case, it is a liquidated damages, and GST is not applicable as per Circular 172. But this, in case of this listed items, there is a facility provided by the supplier, and because of that, the GST is applicable. So with this, I will conclude for thanking you all for patient hearing, and again giving me this opportunity for putting my views on the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kavita ma'am, who has made us walk through case laws of GST covering some important components under GST Act, the refund of excess interest, when to classify supplies as restaurant service, eligible ITC which can be claimed in case of canteen services provided by the assessee, the liquidated damages when they will be taxable, when not, which are paid on the breach of the contract, with reference to all GST sections, rules, and circulars. We now request Kavita ma'am to take questions from our participant. There's only one question, to my surprise, to the ma'am, and that is from Sheetal Vyas. She's asking, is there any case law where ITC was wrongly claimed by the assessee because of the typing mistake and then reversed by the assessee in 2 months? Is there any reference to such, is there any case law referring such situation?
That means because of the typing error, wrong ITC was claimed, right?
Yes. And then the assessee also reversed such ITC. But the Sheetal wants to know if there is any case law referring such situation.
Then what is I think the question is only relating to the time period, in between time period. Interest is whether applicable or not. I'm not aware, means there is no such case laws which is on which such kind of reversal you have to be do. Means that is what definitely it is because of the mistake. But uh, as you have availed the ITC for this time period for say 2 months,
2 months.
you reverse
Yes.
the ITC after 2 months, then definitely for that period of time you have to pay the interest.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I thank on behalf of the participants and myself to Kavita Madam for sharing her knowledge and time with us. It was a great opportunity for all of us to receive insights and thoughts on case law and GST from an experienced and an honored chartered accountant like her. I also thank Women and Young Member Excellence Committee for organizing this virtual program. I now request CA Kajol Thakkar to continue further. Thank you.
So before Kajol comes in, let me, as a chairperson of the committee, let me interact with all of you for 2 to 5 minutes. Friends, this is our endeavor to serve the best to the women fraternity of our ICAI. We have 350,000 plus members of ICAI, out of which 30,000 members are abroad. And out of this, there are about 29% of women fraternity out of 350,000. And we have about 40% of girls students. So day by day, the women fraternity is increasing. The awareness of our course is increasing and women fraternity is increasing. However, as per the research, what we have done, the women fraternity is very less at the leadership positions. And I want to ensure that the same level of opportunities are being given, and it has been also taken by the women fraternity. Because whenever I interact, whenever the leadership position is opportunities coming, lot of women are not accepting also for some or the other reasons. So it is our endeavor to motivate women and to give the support to all our women so that these leadership positions are also have the gender equality. As such, this is the platform. Sky High Symposium is the platform for my dear women fraternity to give them opportunity to come and speak, to share their valuable knowledge on the technical as well as non-technical topics. Again, we are giving the opportunity not only as a speaker, but also as a moderator. If you have any not confidence, or if you want to share, then please come as a moderator also. We have also floated the Google form across India for all of you. And if you are willing to become the speaker or the moderator, so whosoever has filled it, we are reaching out to them so that to ensure that all are given the opportunity. And friends, again, a lot of things are coming up with the Sky High Symposium. They are also being the 75 years coming, starting this year from 1st July 2023 of our ICI. We are planning a lot of program for women and young members. The name of the committee has been changed. We have requested our president and the council to change the name of the committee. Earlier, it was empowerment, and now we are start writing this as Women and Young Members Excellence Committee, because I feel that as a woman, it is not we want empowerment. We are empowered. We are equal, and we are excelling, doing the excellent work. And that is why I requested, and it has been unanimously approved by the council and accepted by the president, that it has to be Women and Young Members Excellence Committee. And the name of committee has also already been changed with the last council meeting. So with this, friends, we want to do a lot of activities for all of you. So I request my all wonderful, beautiful, intelligent women fraternity, my audience, to please come join every Wednesday, 4 to 6, this Sky High Symposium. Tomorrow again we have one program as I'm chairing also the Sustainability Reporting Standard Board, which is the youngest board and the pioneer in the world. I request all of you, that program is there at Mumbai, so the audience from the Mumbai can join, and there are a lot of opportunities in ESG and sustainability. Let me also take one session on the opportunities for CA women in ESG and sustainability area, and share my knowledge in last 1 year what I have gained, so that the huge opportunity opening the doors for all of you. With this, I once again congratulate the today's speakers, CA Kavita Dolu, and I think another speaker who is another.
Divya Somani, ma'am.
Divya Somani, to agreeing and sharing their valuable knowledge. And I can see Riddhi and Kajol Saloni as the moderators of this session. So my compliments to all of them, and looking forward to see you one of best in their career. And my team of WIMEC, Shanu, Jaya, and Ruchi, for all the support which they are giving to me, so that I can achieve the targets what I feel for my women fraternity. Thank you so much, and looking forward to be in touch with you and connect you for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti, ma'am. Really, you are an inspiration for us young women chartered accountants. We look forward to you. Now we would like to continue our session forward. The next topic, the topic itself is so interesting. It is Dare to Dream the Impossible. It will be taken up by CA Divya Somani. CA Divya Somani is the chairperson of Ajmer branch. She is an insolvency professional and a practicing CA with over 15 years of experience. She is from proper Rajasthan, born and brought up in Jaipur. She is a district resource person under Prime Minister's Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises Scheme, a central government subsidy scheme for financial year 22-23. At present, she is heading her proprietary concern, Divya Somani and Associates in Ajmer itself. In addition to this, she served as treasurer, secretary, and vice chairman in the management committee of Ajmer branch of ICI since 2019, and is at present. Further, she is also author of an e-book, Question Bank on Insolvency Examination. She also has published another book, namely a One-Stop Solution Limited Insolvency Examination. She is also a regular faculty at various forums, deliberating on topics like IBC, Code of Ethics, Company Law, Income Tax, Business Laws, and Women. Divya Somani to address further on the topic.
Thank you, Kajol, for such a warm welcome. First of all, I would take this opportunity to thank Preeti ma'am for conducting such wonderful sessions. Every week you are conducting so nice sessions, ma'am. Every time the topics are so encouraging, and say, every single person who has, maybe he or she has stopped practicing, then also they can come up to this level that they can start afresh, and they can, imbibe themselves with all the knowledge. And these sessions are going so smooth, ma'am, and they are really taking, such a delightful, it is a kind of very delightful activity. Every week we are looking forward for such sessions at our place. And it is really I'm myself very honored to be a part of, the management committee. And I'm also a member of your women WYMEC forum also. And I have also taken a few sessions here, and it has always been a pleasure to see you as a role model. Himisha ma'am also, she is also a role model for all of us. And we are looking forward to take, the steps which we should do at our places. So how we can encourage more and more participants. And you have given us a wonderful platform. Being a moderator or being a speaker, you always welcome us to deliver whatever we want to. And today, since the topic is a non-technical and it is very dear to me, I don't have to prepare much about this because here we can speak our heart out, basically. So whatever we have gone through or whatever we dream to and what we want others to do. And we can be an inspiration to others. And similarly, how we have been inspired from others. That is what I'll be sharing today. So basically, I'll start with a quote. कहते हैं अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुम्हें मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. And that is a very famous dialogue. I know you must be thinking it is from a very well-known Shah Rukh Khan's movie also. And I'll just translate it in English also for you. It is a saying that if you really desire something from your heart, then the whole universe will work towards getting you that. And believe it, it is a fact. If you really want something, you can really achieve that. So today I'm here not to, guide how to dream and how to take your dreams into reality or something like that. I want you to just focus on what you have, what you can become, and basically you should come out of your comfort zone and wish the impossible. So let me just share my screen and then we can start the session. Shanu ma'am, just let me know whether the screen is visible. Okay. So the topic for today's session is Dare to Dream the Impossible. Well, from the first slide itself, you can make out there is nothing called impossible because the word impossible itself says, I am possible. So whatever you dream, it is up to you to make it or to convert it into reality or to make it happen. You can solely believe in yourself and you have all the guts to make it possible. Well, frankly speaking, to all the CAs, I think you all understand the value of your efforts because if you could make to CA to become a chartered accountant, then you can dream anything in the world and you will have it. It's just a matter of fact that sometimes we don't even think of dreaming or we think that whatever we have is sufficient. But today's session should motivate you to dare to dream, first of all. And whatever you can dream will become yours. And it is for sure if you put in your 100% efforts into it. So let me just start. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. As I've already mentioned, firstly, you have to become a dreamer. Until and unless you don't dream, how will you know what you want to do? So for that, you need to come out of your comfort zone. Whatever you are doing, you have been doing it for long. Maybe inside your heart, you want to achieve something bigger. But due to the lack of time or any other priorities, maybe you are, foregoing that dream. But today, from this session, you should take this as a takeaway that whatever I was dreaming or whatever I may dream from now onwards should come into a reality. I want my dream to come true. That should be your takeaway. So always remember you have within you all the strength. The strength will never come from outside. It is always inside you. It is you who always know what is to be done, how it is to be done. You know the path, how to proceed. It is just that you are not, thinking it in 100% case. Suppose if you want to accomplish some target, you are already there halfway in your mind itself. So that is the power of visualization. So first thing what you all should do is you should try visualizing yourself. Suppose I want to see myself as a I suppose I want to see myself in the chairperson of some particular committee. I should firstly dream myself to be that. In my dreams itself, I should take steps how to achieve that. So if I have dreamt also about that, I am halfway through. It is just a matter of fact that I need to now take the steps to make it into the reality. So it requires efforts, it requires your determination, it requires your passion, and the stars will be yours. The whole universe will be there to help you out. So let me ask you one question. What kind of life you want? You can see the two pictures out here. In first picture, you can see there's a person who is swimming. So a lot of efforts are put into to reach from one end to the other end. So even if you stop a single second, you might drown. So every time you have to put in continuous effort and you can reach to what you want, you can reach towards your goal. On the other side, we have a lady sitting in a bus. She knows that she has taken a ticket, suppose from Jaipur to Udaipur or from Jaipur to Delhi, wherever. So she has taken the ticket. She is in the right bus. She does not have to put in any effort. She is just sitting there. She is totally relying on the driver. Wherever he wants, he will take her to that. So if you want a comfortable position, you are there in the bus and just looking at your mobile and doing whatever task you are doing daily, you will be doing the same thing. But understand the position of a swimmer. The swimmer, with his or her efforts daily, will make him successful, will make him earn more and more glory towards his own career and make himself or herself proud, as well as the nation might also be proud because of his or her effort. So what kind of life you want, that is the basic thing which you should decide before dreaming. So if you want to have you want to have something great in your life, you should become just like a swimmer. So every day you have to put in something or other, you have to put in some or the other effort. You have to do that, because without putting effort, your dreams will just be dreaming, will just remain dreams. So there is also a joke for that. Suppose there were two friends, and one friend asked the other, so what is your strategy to have a beautiful girlfriend? The other friend said that, oh, it's so simple. I just take 3 steps. The other person was very curious to know that what are those 3 steps. So the first step is take a pillow. Second step is just lie down on it. And third step is have a peaceful dream, dreaming that you have a beautiful girlfriend. So it's just that it's not that we are just dreaming. We have to convert our dreams into reality. And for that, my friends, you have to work really hard, because the dreams will be converted into reality only when you strive for it, only when you make an effort for it. So until you accept the reality of your current situation, you can't take the next step forward. So what is your current situation? Suppose you are engrossed with so much housework or the office work. How can you dreams come true? It is very theoretical to say that, dream something high and you will achieve that. But we have to accept whatever the constraints we have, whatever the circumstances we have. Because if we accept whatever the circumstances we have and then we strive to attain what we want, then definitely within those restrictions, within those limitations also, we will find our path. Because it is not that you will stand just just keep standing. If you want to achieve something, you will really go and get it, because you all are professionals. I can very well understand, and you also know it in your heart. If you want something, you will really get it. So first thing is accept your realities, try to act within your current situation. Maybe you can change those situations. And if you are not able to change those situations suddenly, maybe that will take time, and sooner or later, they will change and you will convert your dreams into reality. So, again, this next slide tells you try, and try until you succeed. So, the best thing which I could found to share here is a poem normally quoted by Sri Amitabh Bachchan, which is असफलता एक चुनौती है इसे स्वीकार करो क्या कमी रह गई देखो और सुधार करो जब तक न सफल हो नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़कर मत भागो तुम कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. Let me translate this again for my dear friends. Failure is a challenge. Accept it. What is lacking, see and improve. Unless you are successful, don't you give up your sleep and peace. Don't run away, leaving the field of struggle. There is no appraisal without doing something. So finally, we should say this aloud. Everyone, we should say this. Those who try never lose. So it is only a matter of trial, my dear friends. If you keep on trying and trying, success will definitely be yours. Because there's nothing like you want and you cannot achieve. Everything will be yours. It's only a matter that whether you tried it with your whole heart or not. So the best part I could take from this particular poetry was kuch kiye bina hi jai jaykar nahi hoti. So you have to do something or the other if you want some accolades, if you want some glory to yourself. How will others see inspiration in you? So if you want that thing to happen, you need to keep trying and trying until you succeed. So the first step, what you should do is you should dare yourself to dream. Why not? Why I can't do this? Firstly, you have to challenge yourself. And challenge is the only path which leads to growth. If you stop challenging yourself, you are at the same position. You will not be able to, move ahead. You will be just doing whatever the regular activities you are doing. If anyone has reached to a top position or is able to govern others or is able to, if you see the leaders also, what you can see in them is the path which they have chosen, the challenge which they have took. You can think of our prime minister or the president or a leadership in the CA fraternity itself. You can see how they have adapted themselves. Every day they are challenging themselves. These virtual sessions, they were not there earlier, but now every time we can have these webinars to connect every part of India, not only India, to every part of the world also we can connect through these webinars. So every time you have to challenge yourself. It is only a mindset which is there to take you to the higher level. So every time challenge yourself and it But what is stopping you? Maybe you are afraid of the failures. Maybe you have some or the other problems in your office. Or maybe you are not in a position now to study hard for those examinations or anything like that. So, firstly, figure out what are the restrictions, what are your problems, just jot it down on a piece of paper and try to overcome them. Because until and unless you find what is your restriction, you won't be able to achieve your goal. You might be having a goal in your mind, but you should also at the same time understand and analyze what are the challenges which will stop you in the course of action. So that is what the slides tells us about, that you should also be aware about your restrictions, your shortfalls or your shortcomings which you need to improve to reach to your goal. So again, a question for all of you. Do you have the courage? The courage as in to dream big. And the big won't fall, directly. You have to breathe. You have to take the courage to, think of just small things daily. It's not that all of a sudden you will have your biggest dream coming true. It will come to you sooner or later, but for that, you need to have courage. You need to have the ability to take the risk. There is a risk involved, my friends, whenever you dream high, whenever you dream big. If you want to come into the leadership role, you have to forgive your peace, your sleep, and you cannot, gel with your friends each and every time you want. You don't have your Sundays also. So you have to forego some things to achieve the other. So you have that courage? If you really have that courage, you can very well achieve your dreams. So let us understand how you should have this courage. You should always tell yourself to become a different personality from others. You have to be the spark. Actually, you have no idea what you can do until and unless you dare to think, you dare to dream. I think all of you know about Lord Hanuman. He himself did not know that he could cross a great ocean like that, but someone was there to guide him, to tell him his abilities, and there he was. He could accomplish the impossible. And the same can be possible with you also. So be the spark, inspire others, and just don't sit in a room, just in your office, and just do the monotonous work. I want you all to be the spark, at least dare to think that you want to be the next speaker or the next moderator for the session. Who is stopping you from that? Be the spark that lights up someone else's life. If you don't want to do something to yourself, just do it for others. Maybe for your students, maybe for your children. You want to be the role model, not for yourself, but for the others, because they are seeing you day in and day out. So if you are taking the challenges, you are inspiring a lot many other people also at the same time. So that is what this slide talks about. Be the spark and light yourself up for the others. It's not just that you will glow, your glory will reach to each and every part of the nation. And the others will be inspired seeing you, and they will also quote you maybe at some part of their time or some part of their life. Be the one to stand out in the crowd. So if you do the same monotonous things again and again, daily and day in, day out, you are yourself not satisfied with the life you are, you are having. So what is required is a kick. So what is that? Something which gives you an excitement, something which gives you a pleasure. It could be anything. The pleasure could be to have a healthy life. The pleasure could be to have a balanced life. The work-life balance. You can aim for that and you can achieve that. It is only a matter how you perceive the things. So if you want to stand out of the crowd, you want to be the one of the fittest person in the whole office or in the whole community of yours, then you can be the one. So you should have the courage to be the one to stand out of the crowd. But what if you fail? Because that is what is restricting you every time. What if I could not do that? Let it be. I won't be doing it now, maybe sometime later. Because in your mind itself, you are seeing the failure. You are not seeing the achievement. But on the negative aspect, you are seeing yourself. What will happen if I fail? So what is the solution for this? Well, when all else fails, just smile. You should never stop smiling, my dear friends. It is the best thing God has given to us, and it is free of cost, free of taxes. So every day you should smile a lot, even if the things are not falling according to your wishes. Still, you have to give it a smile and again charge yourself and give it another try. I'm sure you will definitely reach wherever you want. Disappointments are just God's way of saying, I have got something better. Be patient, have faith, and trust God. Well, this slide it completely gives you the fine point that even if you fail in one or the other task, never give up. Maybe there is some other plan which the God has for you. So you have to be patient, you have to have faith in the God and just keep trying. Maybe the things are not happening the way you wanted. There might be some other way to accomplish those goals. And maybe the goal you set was a very small goal, and the God has a larger goal in his or her things for you. So now it is the time to set smart goals. So not just goals, we are here to set the smart goals. Why you need to set smart goals? Because life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain. You cannot say to yourself, let this year pass, let this March or this financial year pass away. I'll think of it from some other time, because the time never comes, my dear friends. You have to create your own time. You have to create your own space. Every time you will be busy with some or the other work. So you have to take out the time for yourself. You have to learn to dance in the storm. You cannot wait for the storm to stop. You cannot wait for the rains to stop. You have to accomplish your goals within the environment, within the circumstances which you are having. So, what is the definition of smart? I have just quoted here. SMART, for I have taken an acronym. S stands for specific. You have to specify your goal. You cannot say that I'll become an insolvency professional someday. It is not like that. You or any other goal like I will reduce my weight some or the other day. I'll be a healthy person some or the other day. So you don't have to be unspecific. You have to be very, very specific by when you want these goals to be achieved. Suppose I'm saying that I want to reduce my weight to 5 kgs from today. Suppose within 1 month, I want to reduce 5 kgs. So I have to be that specific. And for that, you have to work hard to achieve that, because just saying won't give you answers or won't, suffice your purpose. So you have to be very specific for, first of all, setting your goals also, and then you have to work hard. So, how do you set your goals? Let me ask you. You set your goals within your mind. If you are doing so, my friends, every time you will change your goals according to your wishes. So, whatever you are thinking of your goals to be for the next few months or for the next few years, you have to make a chart and put it on the wall in front of you. Maybe in your office, maybe in your bedroom, or wherever you want. Because every time when you will be looking at that goal, it will remind you that you have to really achieve that goal. And once you achieve that, my dear friends, I want you to crush that chart or crush that sheet and paste another goal for yourself, because it is a journey. Goals should not stop. You should always aim high and try to achieve another goal every time. So, first thing is you have to be very specific. Second is your goals should be measurable also. Suppose you want to do a particular course, you have to analyze how much time you want to take for that. You have 2 months for that to complete, or you have 6 months, and then you have to break it in weeks schedule, or any time, like making a timetable sort of. So for every goal, you have to measure how much time that would take, and accordingly, you have to set the plans. Next thing is A stands for actionable. Actionable means you have to analyze what all things will be required to achieve that goal. Suppose you want to do a particular course, what kind of skill set you want to have. So, how to attain those skills? What kind of things I need to learn to sharpen my, suppose, Excel knowledge? What course should I undertake? If you want to, learn some forensic audit, or you want to have some, a great bank audit skills, then what courses should I go into? So you have to make an action plan, and at the same time, you should know what are my weaknesses, what are my strengths, and accordingly, you have to play. So this is meant by actionable. Next is relevant. Setting realistic goals is very, very important, and the relevant goals as well. Relevant, how would you say what is relevant and what is not relevant would come into my next slide also. But the thing is, it should not be very irrelevant kind of thing. It should fall into your larger goal. So if you can set some small goals to achieve the larger goal, it will be a relevant goal for you. But totally impossible kind of thing or totally irrelevant kind of thing will not serve your purpose. Then the last most important thing is time bound. You have to bind yourself in the time frames that you will accomplish a particular goal in a particular time, and then only you will be able to achieve your targets. Because my dear friends, until and unless you give a time limit to yourself, then you won't be able to achieve your targets. Because every time, being a CA, you also know that uh, we are governed by various timelines. We have timeline to file returns, then we have to file taxes within this date or the other date. Every time we have these timelines within which we have to act. And we all are aware that till that time, we are bound to complete our tasks in order to get rid of all those penalties. So, we in the real life also, we have to be very specific. We have to be very time bound in setting our goals. So, that is the thing which we need to do. So, it is not just setting the goals, we have to set a time frame also with that. So, what is relevant? We were talking in the earlier slide. So, you can take it on two parameters: how much effort you are putting into and how much value it is having. So, if you are putting more and more effort and it is having less value, obviously it is not relevant at all for you. And if you are putting in less effort and maybe it is giving you much value, it is giving you very much satisfaction, then it is very, very relevant for you. You can also adapt this technique of 80-20. What is it? If 20% of your tasks are giving you 80% of pleasure, then that thing is relevant for you and you must prioritize your tasks accordingly. So, when we have understood what is the meaning of, again, check that. So, if firstly you have to take the actions according to what you have planned. So, taking action, whether it is step by step or whatever, it is not just dreaming. You have to put it into action. So, action is the key thing you have to do. The first thing is that. Second is evaluation. Whatever you have done, evaluate yourself whether you could achieve your targets or not. Because self evaluation is the best thing. If you are not able to evaluate yourself, or if you are going away from evaluating yourself, you will not be able to achieve your targets. Because once you go into that mindset that, oh, I could not achieve this within the time frame, I should set again this goal, I should do a more realistic kind of thing, or I have to set a different pattern of doing this thing, then only you will be able to achieve your goals. So self evaluation and keep on revising your plans, it is also very important. Sometimes your techniques have become outdated, sometimes a new methodology has come into place, sometimes new and new things are coming up into the market with which you have to be abreast. So you need to keep on revising yourself. You cannot have the old goals dragging with you every time. So every time you have to take action, you have to keep on evaluating your actions, and then there should be a revision plan also that you have to keep on modifying. Because if you have you could identify that you can achieve a particular target in so much time, that means you have a great speed to achieve that, and now you can think of higher goals also. So revision is also a very crucial part of this planning. So what is this particular slide? It says that reaching your goals is all about steady, step by step progress. I think you all are aware about that rabbit and the tortoise story. Step by step, you can proceed, but every day you have to take some or the other step to achieve your ultimate goal. It's okay if you could not achieve something big in one day or the other, but you were there, you were taking bit by bit, you were taking small steps, and that is what a step by step progress means. Steady means you need to have a continuity, because once you lose this continuity, you will not be able to gain anything. Let me tell you, friends, there is always a habit formation activity. habit formations, whatever habits you are having, they are not made in just 1 day or 2 day. They take a long time frame to become a habit. Anything to become a habit. Suppose if you have become lazy, it is not a matter of 1 day. You might be skipping your things daily, maybe in a maybe in a time frame of a month or two. You will be lazy to get up early. You will not be in a mood to go for a walk or anything like that. So it's a step by step process. Your bad habits or your good habits takes time to form. So that is what here also it is said that success also is a step by step process. Just like forming a good habit or a bad habit takes time, this progress, this success will also take time. It is not a matter of 1 day or 2 day achievement. Every day you have to do something or the other to make your dreams come true. But again, if you can see that the first step itself is very high. You cannot the step one is very hard to take, I should say. uh, because how to start, when to start, what should I do, these are the all questions which keep revolving. And it is always a matter of fact how you should go for it. Because I can relate myself with this here. When I thought to write the book, I just had a dream. I wish I could write a book, but how to write, what to write was again a question, how to do that. So taking the first step is the biggest hurdle, I should tell you. Once you start, once you at least have the idea what you want to do, just write it. And every day you will have the ideas. It is only a matter of starting, my dear friends. Once you have it in you, you will surely gain whatever you want. And the step one is always harder, as I said. So you should break your restrictions and go for this step one. If you are there for the step one, step two, three, four will come into your way just very easily. So this first step is the biggest hurdle, I should tell you. And if you can achieve this first hurdle, then all things are in your way. You can make it one step at a time. So again, this slide tells you that it is not a jump to the success. It is always step by step process. You have to work daily. You have to put in your efforts daily. You have to encourage yourself daily, even if you fail, if you cannot make it. Again, you have to revise your plans and everything like that. But you have to take steps daily on a continuous basis if you really want to achieve something. Because all these dreams which you are having, they might remain your dreams only if you don't strive for it. So if you really want to have them, you have to take one step at a time, and that too daily. So now it is time to take a small test. Oh my God, you are not ready, but I presume that you are ready. Okay, so let us see what is it. I'll just show you next slide. What you have to do is you have to identify a particular color object. So which color? You have to identify yellow color objects in the next slide. You will be given 10 seconds. Let me see how many of you find out maximum articles from that, because no one will be asking you, but it is up to you how many articles or objects you can identify with yellow color. Here you go. And your time starts now. You have to identify yellow colored objects. I wish I could see you doing that, but it's okay. Five seconds are gone. Stop. So my object is actually not to, test whether you are aware of yellow color or orange color or red color or anything like that. I am not here to test that. I just wanted to check one thing in yourself. When I asked you to focus on yellow color, by any chance, could you see red color or green color, or you were only focused for that yellow color? I think you have the answer with yourself. Yes, you were very much focused. You were just thinking of yellow things in this slide. And that is the way you should always go for it. If you have one goal in your mind, you should not be distracted by something or the other. You should just focus on whatever the goal you have, the ultimate goal. So, this is the takeaway from that particular slide. Don't make excuses for why you can't get it done. Focus on all the reasons why you must make it happen. So, focus is very much important, my dear friends. And nowadays, we have too many devices, too many methods to lose our focus. So, you need to have a day out for mobile, also day free from mobile also. So as I know navratras are going on, some of you might be keeping fast also. So I would suggest to go for a mobile fast also. Go for the videos or the YouTube fast also. Sometime you will feel relaxed, you will have ample time for yourself, because nowadays what we are doing is we are not talking to ourselves. And when you are not talking to yourself, you are just listening to what others are saying, or you are just watching what others are doing. You will not be able to analyze what is inside you. So you should have some time out for yourself. You should have some time out for your family also. And then only you will take out time and to think of what dreams you want to achieve. So focus again, I have taken this acronym. Follow one course until success. So until you achieve your goals, just keep on trying and trying and trying. Stay focused on your goals, your peace, and your happiness. Don't waste your time on anything that doesn't contribute to your growth. So suppose you are doing something and it is not adding any value, then you should stop doing it. That is my sincere request. I know this things this all these things sound very theoretical or philosophical, but if you really want to achieve and you are really seeing your leaders doing something great, that is just because they are following a single course of action and they are very much focused, and because of that focus only they are able to achieve the heights of their success. And if you really want to achieve that in your fields, then you have to follow this rule. Every day is a new day. You should think that if you could not do anything yesterday, again God has given you a new day. So whatever you think you can do, from that day itself you start doing that, and you will definitely achieve that particular goal of yours. So every day is a chance to get better, and so my sincere request is not to waste it. Even if half of the day is gone, you still have half of it. So you always have to be positive in your mindset that yes, I can do it, and every day is there for me to do something or the other which I want inside my heart really to do. Surround yourself with people who are going to motivate and inspire you. Unnecessary gossips and unnecessary, roaming here and there will not give you anything fruitful. So if you really want to achieve your goals, you have to surround yourself with people as well as books or any knowledge sharing sessions. You can always see that everything is available on your fingertips if you really want to achieve. So just keep yourself motivating, just keep yourself inspiring that you can achieve the success, the real goals which you want to have. Don't stop believing in yourself, no matter what happens. Because many a times it happens that if we are not able to achieve whatever we want to, we start, blaming ourselves. So the best thing which I would say here is you should always believe in yourself. You have all the guts. It is just a matter of fact that the circumstances were not in favor of in your favor maybe. So again, strive for it. You will definitely gain success. Just don't stop believing in yourself. That is the very much required thing. That is the very much essential thing I would say to achieve your goal. If you think you can, you will certainly achieve whatever you want. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. So as I said earlier also, it is only a matter of visualization. Once you start believing in yourself, once you start visualizing the things in your mind, you are halfway there. Because in mind, you have already created a map for yourself. You already visualize yourself as a pioneer in your field, or maybe as a leader in your field. Then no one can stop you. It is only a matter of the efforts which you have to make it into reality. In your mind, you already have that goal. So if you can visualize yourself whatever you want to, then you are already halfway there. Before ending, I would just like to end with a quote again. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Thank you so much. And I would love to answer if anyone has any doubts or queries regarding this.
Thank you so much, Divya ma'am, for your power-packed session. I don't think there should be any questions because the session has itself been so self-explanatory and so well drafted. However, we do have thoughts from a participant, Neena Tanna from Veeraval. She writes that accepting reality really works because limitations and obstacles are not in our control or not in our hand to remove those limitations and obstacles. So it's better to stick with reality and automatically the world kind of falls into place.
Right.
So thank you so much, ma'am. On that note, on behalf of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee and our audience, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to you for conducting such super motivating session for us. Also, I would like to extend our gratitude to CA Preeti Savla ma'am, Chairman of WYMEC Committee, and CA Abhay Chhajar sir, who is the Vice Chairman of the committee, for conducting such sessions and giving young members such opportunity to come forward and showcase their talents and thoughts over such great platform. And last but not the least, I would also like to thank all the participants for their presence, their patient hearing, and making this session such a successful one. This is your last coordinator, CA Saloni Rathi, signing off for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.